Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Engineering Faculty e-Open House. I'm so glad that all of you can join us today. We are from the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering, and we will be hosting today's session. With me today, so let me introduce myself. My name is Justin. So I'm a teaching faculty here in the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering. Together with me today is Prof. Pang Zitai, who is the academic head. So any academic matters, he is the person in charge. He will answer all your questions regarding academic matters. We also have a couple of other colleagues here who will be introducing themselves shortly later. All right. So again, welcome to everybody. Today we have a very exciting lineup of events. We're going to start off with a very quick introduction to the engineering faculty with a welcome address by our dean. And after that, which is the highlight of today, we'll be talking about the new exciting hyper-flexible curriculum. This will be covered by Prof. Pang Zitai. And if you're interested in what life is like in civil and environmental engineering, we have a few of our student ambassadors who will be here to share their experiences today. So welcome again to everybody. So without further ado, let's start with the Dean's welcome address.
Engineering is about solving some of the world's toughest problems. But the challenges engineers face are becoming more complex. So at NUS Engineering, we are transforming how we train the engineers of the future. Hi, I'm Aaron. I'm the Dean of NUS Engineering. As engineering challenges evolve, engineers need to draw on an ever broader range of skills and knowledge. So we have reimagined our curriculum. For students starting in August 2021, you will have a bigger range of options than ever before. We think of it as your opportunity to build your own degree. You'll have the flexibility to study both the traditional engineering disciplines while broadening your skills in other areas. NUS Engineering is already ranked in the top 10 globally for engineering. It's #1 in Singapore for graduate employability. We have a world-class faculty who are global leaders in cutting-edge research, such as biomedical engineering, medical technology, quantum engineering, and advanced materials. Over the past year, many of our faculty have stepped up to join the fight against COVID-19, developing new testing kits, therapeutics, and protection equipment designed to keep frontline healthcare workers safe. As an NUS engineering student, you will engage with and learn from these experts. We have access to the latest digital technologies and labs. From day one, you'll be exposed to hands-on engineering using robotics and drones, and work on other cool projects that will build your foundational knowledge. NUS Engineering is at the heart of a global network with exchange programs with leading engineering schools around the world, strong ties with NUS Overseas College Program, and industry connections that offer access to a world of exciting internships. At NUS Engineering, we're here to help you discover your passions, to build your skills to the best you can be, and go where you want to go. So please come join us. We're looking forward to building the future of engineering with you.
So there's a very exciting video by Prof. Aaron. So we want you to join us. There's a whole range of activities. There's a whole range of things that you can do here in civil and environmental engineering in NUS. So let's talk a little bit about curriculum. I think that's the highlight of today's talk, right? Where we're going to be introducing this new hyper-flexible curriculum that is going to broaden the options that you have, right, gearing you for the future. So let's invite Prof. Pang to share with us in the new curriculum.
Thank you, Justin. Just to make sure all of you are able to see this slide. Good. Yep, thanks, Leslie. Thank you. So I think Justin has kindly introduced me. I'm the Deputy Head for Academic Matters in the department. So I take care of all the academic matters from the undergraduate to the graduate, and also the short courses, and also some of the matters related to students. Let me just start. So what is civil engineering? I'll do a very short introduction. I think some of you may have also attended earlier sessions. I'll do a short introduction before going deeper into the curriculum aspect. So civil engineers plan, design, create, and manage a livable city around us. I will break it into iconic structures that we do, smart infrastructures, nature-based solution for built environment, technological solutions, and also green solutions for sustainability. So these are the broad areas that we civil engineers will be tackling. If you do know, civil engineers is not working on a very specific domain, but actually requires multidisciplinary skills to address some of the problems that the nation or the city is facing. So why choose NUS Civil Engineering? I would like to congratulate all of you who have been offered a position in NUS Civil Engineering. I'll share with you some of the points on why you should consider or accept NUS Civil Engineering. We are ranked well in the World University Ranking based on subject, and that subject is on civil and structure. And in year 2019 and year 2021, we are ranked world number 2, and we are consistently the number 1 in Asia. And on top of that, I would like to highlight in the ranking, what differentiates us from the others is how the employer view our graduates. And in the ranking, there's actually a score. That score is what we call the employer reputation score, whereby they will look at the graduates and they will give them high score for graduates who are found to be most competent, innovative, and effective. And we are ranked a full perfect score of 100 for 2019 and 2021. You look at the employer, the graduate employment survey, and you will see that our graduates, over the years, the pay has been increasing. In terms of the mean pay, is about 3,740. And we are also, compared to the graduates, the other graduates, we are being valued more in terms of the salary that our graduates get. And over the years, since 2013, they started an award, which is the most prestigious award for young consulting engineer. So there's an award given every year since 2013, and our alumni have been getting the awards every year. And that not only covers the undergraduate, it also covers the graduate, which again is a testament on the competency or the skills that our graduate students have, and also the expertise that we provide for the industry. So there are many students who may have done their undergraduate elsewhere, but instead chooses to do their graduate studies with us after knowing that we do consistently train good engineers for the industry. So with that, I'll move into the curriculum. I'm sure you will have more questions after this. I will tackle that during the Q&A, but I'll provide a broad overview, tackling a bit of some of the questions that may be asked in the email. So let's start with, this is not sequential, so you will not be looking at this as in the lower tier will be what you'll be taking the first year, but rather this is a whole set where I'll group it into common or the core modules versus program or major requirements. So I'll get you through this step by step. So the first 3 rows that you see over here, these are what we call the common modules. Across the one which is lighter is the common modules across the entire university. So modules like Singapore Studies, community and engagement, cultures and connection, digital literacy, data literacy. These are common, I would not say modules, they're actually basket. That means within each basket, there will be a few modules that you can choose. And that will be a common requirement for the entire university. And across engineering and School of Design environment, we have this darker color where you also have some of which are basket. That means it contains a few modules that you can choose, some of which may be a single module. For example, design thinking, livable cities, makerspace, system thinking, system thinking, and project management are single module that will be taken by students across both engineering and the School of Design environment. One of the reasons why we do that is that the industry do value students having this cross-disciplinary engagement and then learning from one another from different perspectives. So this was something that's intentionally created. It's not easy to do it, but we managed to have this started this coming cohorts. Modules like creating narratives and artificial intelligence could be modules with a basket. That means there may be more than one module within each of them. And integrated project will be a fourth-year project that students undertake, and it can be done also across disciplines. So you can have a group project that may be, for example, working with students from architecture, from the Department of Building, and also with maybe a mechanical and electrical engineer. So this integrated project provides a truly multidisciplinary learning environment. You move up on this row, which is in red. So this row is you have the modeling and simulation. We have tried to curate this the way that we teach mathematics, and we teach it in the context of engineering, in particular civil engineering. So we make it such that students will learn mathematics with a purpose, and then knowing how to apply it. And also making use of not only theory, we want to introduce simulation, because the problems that you solve out there will typically involve using computers to solve it. So there will be 2 modules on modeling and simulation. Students will learn about engineering professionalism, which is key for any engineers out there, and also an internship. You look at all these blocks, a typical size will mean is 4 modular credit. So every module in NUS, a typical module will have 4 modular credit. So and almost all the programs will have 160 modular credit for the new cohort. That means you will have typically 40 regular modules. But some of the modules may not be exactly 4 modular credit, which in short we call it MC. This could be this is half the size, so this will be a 2 modular credit. And internship will be 10 modular credit because it's 2.5 times the size. So we have this compulsory internship, which the industry value a lot. We have started this compulsory internship, I think about 5 or 6 years ago, and it's been moving very well. We get our students actually get placement before they graduate, and then I think other universities at NTU are also starting to look at it and adopting the same model. And this will be the core module. So in the new curriculum, students can choose, for example, you choose to pursue BEng in civil engineering. That means your first major will be civil engineering. And in the new curriculum, across almost the entire university, every major will make up of 40 modular credit. So one module is typically 4 modular credit. So 40 modular credit will mean that you'll be 10 modules, which is why you have 10 modules over here. So this row will be all the 10 modules that you will take. And these modules are chosen to position our graduates as future built environment leaders. And with these 10 modules, you are also qualified to sit for the professional engineers licensing exam. So these are the modules that are the core. And we have created, to allow for this hyper flexible curriculum, we have created this space right on top, which is 10 blocks, 10 regular blocks. Each block is 4 MCs, so you have 40 MCs, where you can pursue a second major. So you can see over here, the first major is also 40 MC. So the second major can also be another 40 MC that you can pursue. So you can graduate with double major without extending your candidature. And you can also choose to say, hey, maybe I do not want another second major. I have actually quite a lot of interest. I want to prepare myself well in both maybe computing and also with management. You can actually take 2 minors. So a typical minor will be 5 blocks, 20 MC. So you can choose 2 minors with these 10 blocks because each minor is typically 5 blocks or 20 MCs. You can also choose a mixture of minors plus specialization. Minors and specialization both have 20 MC. Minor is to go broader. So you want to go into another domain, like for example, you want to do a minor in architectural studies, or you want to pursue deeper into specialization. So in the department, you will have specialization like digital infrastructure. So you learn about the ways big data is transforming our industry. You can specialize more into it. So it's going deeper into an area within your core discipline. But minor is to go outside of your core discipline into another area. Both have 20 MC, but one goes broader, one goes deeper. And for the poly students, you will have what you all normally call the APC or exemption. So for all students, you'll be exempted. For poly students, you'll be exempted 5 of this block for unrestricted elective, that means 20 MC. You'll be exempted from this internship, which is 10 MC. So that will be 20 plus 10, you'll be 30. You will be also exempted from design thinking and makerspace, another 4 plus 4. Reason for that is that we look across quite a number of the poly programs. Design thinking and makerspace are already part of their learning. And design thinking is actually coming down from the ministry, the Future Economics Committee, whereby you find all the institution of higher learning will have it. So quite a number of polys actually have design thinking in their curriculum. So we are going to make it consistent for all the students coming in from the poly. You'll be waived from the 20 MCs of unrestricted elective, 10 MC of internship, plus another 4 plus 4. So it will be in total 38 MCs. And a typical workload for 1 year is 40 MC. So effectively, you will have remaining 3 years of program. So besides this new transformative curriculum to nurture our graduates to become 21st century civil engineer leaders, what are the other differentiating factors that we are offering for our new students? We have also worked out this possibility of offering a double degree in both civil engineering and architecture. That means students can pursue civil engineering plus architecture. It's going to be very difficult, but we want to create this possibility. Reason is that we don't anticipate a lot of students doing it, but a few that may be very interested who wants to put in the additional effort. Reason for that is that we find that there are a lot of game changers, leaders, well-known, well-renowned innovators who have this type of training background in both civil engineering and architecture, and the industry actually values such people a lot. And you don't have it at the moment in Singapore. So we'll be the first university that offers this type of pairing of civil engineering and architecture. In NTU, you will have civil engineers, civil engineering program, but no architecture. In SUTD, you have architecture, but you don't have civil engineering. In NUS, you have best of the both worlds, both civil engineering and architecture. For students who don't want to take architecture as a degree, right, there is also an option of minor in architectural studies, which I'll show later on. By doing that, you are eligible for the engineering professional and licensing exam upon graduation. And for those who want to also becomes a qualified architect, you can also proceed to do another master's in architecture, which can be as short as 1 year, depending on which university you go to, and then you'll be eligible for architect licensing. Another pairing that we offer, again, you will not find it elsewhere in Singapore at the moment, is that you can pair your civil engineering major with another major quite easily and within engineering. I have chosen over here major in mechanical engineering, major in electrical engineering, quite conventional, I will not say conventional. They are pairing whereby you will have the skill sets to become better in the built environment, because you look at any of infrastructure development, you will need people who build structures, you will need people who knows how to deal with M&E, mechanical engineering aspects. So over here, we are offering this. These are not the only pairing. You can have major in maybe material science and engineering. So all the majors in NUS engineering could be a potential second major. So you can turn up to be engineer with double professional license, which again at the moment we do not have. This will be the first in Singapore, be the rare few to be equipped with both professional license. Right now you will have professional license in civil, mechanical, electrical, and I think the new one is chemical. You could potentially take any of these if you wanted to, but again the workload will be higher, so it's not for everyone. It's for those that are really very keen to become one of the few to be in this leading this industry. So you can complete within 4 years without overloading, provided you have planned your curriculum well. All of you will have an academic mentor who will guide you. So your academic mentor is important. They will guide you on how you can plan your curriculum so that you can complete well within the 4 years. And the industry is looking for such people, because there is a need to innovate, to transform the industry. You have here news which is being reported almost every day for the entire year. So the industry is pushing very hard on this, and we want to be the one to nurture engineer leaders to lead the industry. And there's also one existing specialization which is very popular. Then that is a specialization in digital urban infrastructure. For those who are interested, you can talk to Dr. Justin Yeo, who is the MC earlier on. He is the one leading this, and then there's a lot of interest from the students, and this is one key area to transform the industry. So they will learn cutting-edge digital design management, transform the industry with computation and digital technologies, and they learn also in unique ways. So students actually will be playing games, but in a fun learning way, not just to play games. So they do deal with virtual reality goggles, playing with Minecraft to learn about management and also digital skills. And we have a few students who are involved with this, and they have been doing very well in competition. So very recently, despite the COVID, our students took part in this JTC Virtual Case Challenge, where it demonstrates our students not only competent in these digital aspects, but they are also good in the management in terms of a market, in terms of teamwork, market appreciation, feasibility studies. We create a very well-rounded education or training for our students that goes beyond the academic studies. And also last year, during the COVID, we also have the International Building Design Competition organized by BCA. Our students won not only the second prize, merit prizes, but also the Seoul Innovation Award in the competition. And that has been featured in the Straits Times very recently. This is the team that won the Seoul Innovation Award, plus the second prize, where it has been highlighted in the Straits Times on how the education helps to train students, which can potentially help in the industry transformation. So I'll give you a summary of what other types of pairing that you can consider. Afterwards in Q&A, if you do have more questions, do let me know. I'll be happy to address that. So on top of the earlier type of pairings, there are a lot more. I've chosen those which I felt are good pairing to complement your civil engineering major. And on top of that, these are the ones which are also attractive to past students and also attractive to potential employers. So you have a civil engineering with a minor in infrastructure, finance, and management. This is a multidisciplinary program offered by 3 faculty, business school, School of Design, and also Faculty of Engineering. There will be a new major in project management, where students can also take a project management major. and suited for students who wants to be a civil engineer with infrastructure, finance, and management skills. And there are a lot of agencies and also big consultancy planner firms who are interested in such graduates. Or you can do a minor in urban studies, which is again another cross-disciplinary type of program, which is offered by Faculty of Arts and Social Science and School of Design and Environment. If you want to know more about that, afterwards you can ask Wesley Ong, who is taking that. I think he's going to graduate by this semester. So Wesley Ong, you can ask you about this urban studies. There's also a minor in architectural studies for students who have interest to become a civil engineer with architecture and urban planning background. And also, there's also a lot of majors and minors for civil engineers who wants to pursue. There's a lot of interest in sustainability. In my very first slide, you see the different areas that civil engineers play, important roles that we play with regards to sustainability. So this will complement well. You can take minor in geosciences offered by Arts and Social Science, or you can also have a minor or major in the environmental engineering, which is offered by our department, or a major in sustainable urban development, which is going to be rolled out in August, offered by our department, plus also the School of Design and Environment. And in summary, these are the ones that we have shared with you. So you have the full list over here. Why we want to do that and how are these choices being selected? They are selected because we have identified the needs from the industry. We do work very closely with the industry and the agencies. We want our graduates to become the trailblazers of the built environment to lead the other civil engineers in industry transformation. I think that is the mission that we are going towards. We want our students to be the leaders in the industry when they graduate. And that is not the only list that you have. We have a lot more on the other double majors and also minors. You can simply just Google, you don't have to copy down this link. You just Google NUS double majors. You will see this link right at the top. You click in there, you can easily find maybe about 30 or 40 double majors that you can select after you enter NUS, if you have not done so during admission. And also, there's also another long list, easily more than 50 or probably even 70 or 80 minors that you can choose. So again, you just need to type into Google NUS minor program. You'll get this link, click in there and you get the whole list. I'll probably stop here for the last slide. I do have more to share, but I probably can share them during the Q&A based on your questions. So upon graduation, where can our graduates go? We do have, I put them into 3 broad categories. One will be the STEP boards, which are related to policies, planning, project management, and I would say a majority of the agencies employ civil engineers. You have a BCA, JTC, HDB, LTA, PUB, CSSS, DSTA, URA, MPA. And engineers in the public sectors do pay very well. The starting pay is 3,800. That is mandated by the government. And we do have a lot of engineers, civil engineers who go into these agencies after graduation. Then there's also the consultancy firms. Those are the ones that deals with also with planning and also design. So I would say those who are more technically inclined, who want to design infrastructure, design buildings. This is the type of firms that you are looking at. Requires also multidisciplinary skill sets, not only just calculation. These firms like Savannah, Jurong, Arup, WSP, all these are global firms that you probably have heard of. Lastly, will be a construction firms, which are like our builders. There are many construction firms, Dragages, Obayashi, both local and overseas. So you have a French firm like Dragages, Obayashi from Japan, big local firms like Wohab and many others. With that, I'll stop here for my sharing. We'll move on. But again, during Q&A, if there's any question that you have that I probably have not touched on or addressed, do sound out, we have a long Q&A session. Back to you, Justin. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Prof. Bang. Okay, so I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions regarding curriculum. We will entertain them shortly. Now, to me, one of the greatest, or one of the most characteristic things about civil engineering is actually the bonds of friendship that we have made. It's a very close-knit industry. We know everybody. I think the only other professions that can claim this are perhaps the doctors, the lawyers, and maybe the accountants. And where do we form these bonds of friendship? It actually all starts when we are here in school. And so with that, I'd like to pass the time over to Michelle. She is our final year student, and she's also the president of the CE Club. And she'll be sharing some of the life experiences that she's had over here in civil engineering. Michelle, over to you.
Thank you, Prof. Justin. So hi everyone, I'm Michelle, a year 4 student studying civil engineering. So before I start, just a short background of myself. I came from Ngee Poly as a poly entry student. So I was given exemption like what Prof. Kwang had mentioned just now, and hence I could complete my degree in less than 4 years. So this is a summary of my life in NUS, and these are also the few main points I'll be sharing with all of you. So talking about orientation, life on campus, exchange program, a little about internship, and then like our student clubs. So life in NUS begins with orientation activities. So as a civil engineering student, you get to join our CIS camp to begin our journey at NUS. So CIS camp is also known as Civil and Environmental Science and Engineering Camp. So our camp not only have your typical station game, you get the chance to play like bubble soccer, as you can see over here, and water tag, and also you get the chance to have a chill karaoke session at Teo Heng last time I was in year 1. But sadly, due to the pandemic, some of these activities may not be allowed right now, but don't worry, our project director have definitely planned other fun activities for all of you all that's coming in. So if you'd like to know more friends outside of civil, Engine Club also organize their own engine camp and engine OWIC for all of you. Additionally, I also joined Engine Rap, which is part of the NUSUV Rag and Flag event, which is an annual charity project. So we get to put out a performance, and I was part of the contemporary dance team back in 2018. So it was definitely one of the highlights to the start of my uni life. You have the opportunity to try this out, join them, and then have a great time as well and make new friends. So after the orientation activity, uni life officially begins. So I made a decision to stay on campus at Residential College for, in short, RC4. Just a brief introduction about the options you have if you plan to stay in school. We have 7 halls and 5 residential colleges for all of you to choose. So if you like to stay near the engineering faculty, I would recommend Raffles Hall as well as Ridgefield Residential College. So these two are the nearest to school. But every hall and residential college have their own unique identity. You guys can check them out on their own social media page to see what they have to offer also. So staying on campus is really fun for me. So in RC4, I get to try this inter-house game, and when I get to play my first ever dodgeball game, as you see on the left side of the slides. And then on top of that, in RC, you also have different houses. So our house committee will actually plan events for our house people. And we have like barbecue, secret Santa, and we went to Sichuan to have a meal with our exchange students, you can see on the right side of the slides. Additionally, like every semester, we also have formal and informal dinner held in our dining hall. So food will be served to you while you enjoy performance by your friend. So it's really a very good time to like spend time with a friend, chit chat, and have a chill meal in the midst of studying and all. So that's not all. I also took part in Project ORCA. So Project ORCA is the Overseas Community Involvement Project in RC4. So we went to the secondary school in Vietnam to teach English, and in return, we also get to know more about their culture and make new friends or Vietnamese friends. So this is just a short video of like what we did over there. So in civil engineering, we also have Project Orion that you can take part as well. If you want to ask know more about it, Dylan is over here. He's our project director. You can chit chat with him later on. So how can we not talk about student exchange program right in uni? So what is student exchange program? So student exchange program is a semester or year-long program to one of our partner university locally or overseas. And all the courses taken during this program will not be counted into your CAP. So you will not affect your grades when you take the exam over there. So it's like you can go there and learn and then not affecting your grades and at the same time enjoy. So I went to the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. It's really fun. I get to know a lot of new friends. They're like international friends. I have met friends from like Asia, from China to Taiwan to Hong Kong, and then friends from the US and friends from like UK and all. So if you have the opportunity to go overseas and meet new friends, you can go and have some fun there. And then not only like knowing more people, the school there also very kindly organized events for us to go to the apple orchard, pumpkin patch, and then like touring around like around the county that we were at also. At the same time, meeting new people over there. I kind of went to all this event alone when I was on overseas. So it's really like I took an opportunity to like talk to our international friends over there and then like get to know their culture, what they do, and then make new friends. And some of them I still talk to them after coming back for about a year. Yeah. So when I overseas, also take on this opportunity to try out new modules that the school has to offer. I took on this project-based learning module UIUC has to offer at the point of time. So every other week, they'll bring us to site visits in the United States. So we went to their water treatment plant, and then we also went to their power plant, and they bring us to their construction site for site visits. And then they also tell us more about the county history and then how they deal with floodings and all when we were there during our lesson time. So it's a really good opportunity to see what what does uni have to share and then like how's their teaching method is like through all these like modules. Oh, I also took on one module. It's pretty interesting. I did ice skating as part of my elective program. That's something that you don't get to try in Singapore. So that was really, really interesting. So when you go overseas, do try out their module that we don't have over here. So this is a good opportunity to try new things. Yeah. Not only that, I also went to look at NBA as well as I watched the American football in my school. So on the right side of the picture, that's our football stadium in UIUC. So they're having a match with another school. So you can see the whole area is filled out with students wearing orange. So orange is their university color. So everyone wear orange now to support their school team, and the whole school spirit is really, really high over there. And then like everyone was cheering for their teammates. So every time they score a goal, the whole football stadium is filled with like cheers. It's really, really, really fun. Likewise for the NBA, and when your team score a goal, everyone was just cheering for them. So if you have opportunities to go overseas and try out all these activities, just go and try. I guarantee you it's something that you don't get to try in Singapore as well. Okay, so other than exchange program, I also did internship. So for me as a poly student, I didn't get to do a semester-long internship with the IA, but I managed to do like vacation internship program over summer. So my first internship program was actually in school. I did it with my friends from my course when we were in year one, and then our program is about on ground improvement projects where we research about an optimal mixed ratio to treat our soil to make it a more stable soil allowed for construction work. So this is my friend, and then we have quite a fun time at our lab there. Yeah. So you can try internship in school as well as outside. So when I was in year 2, I went to Savannah Jurong and did a geotechnical internship. So sadly, it was during COVID at that point of time, so everything was online. But don't worry, I still managed to learn quite a bit of things. So I assisted the engineer there on the project at Changi Airport Group. And then I get to use like taxis to do like a bit of design here and there. But even though it's a lockdown, it didn't really affect my learning opportunities. And like as we use like technologies like Teams and Skype to communicate. So you still get get to learn more about the industry even though we are at home. So what is student life without student club as well, right? So I joined Civil Engineering Club when I was in first year as a Director of Student Affairs. Sadly, in year 2, I was overseas on exchange, so I didn't get to continue. So when I was back in year 3, my final year, which right now, I took on the role as the president of C Club and to continue like what I want to do here. So C Club is a place where you really get to know a lot of people that you really get to meet a lot of new friends. So like in class, right, when you're studying and all, you don't really get to talk to a lot of people. So when joining a club, it's a place that all you can just come together, chit chat. Then when you're planning, when you're doing work, like doing a project together, you really get a chance to like talk to new people and then forge new friendship. And then in C Club, this year we have students from year 1 to year 4. So we don't even get to know your batchmates in class, but also get to know your juniors and then your seniors. So it's really a good opportunity to bring the whole civil engineering student together. So when you join NUS, remember to join C Club, okay? Okay. And then because I'm a final year student, so other than working on other than being a C Club, I also like do my final year project. So school actually offers quite a bit of project reading from project management to like geotechnical structure and like even like offshore engineering work. So you can choose the project up to, according to your own interest. Then for me, I was working on contactless structure health monitoring to test the structural sounding of the bridge itself. I shall not go into details to like, make everything so confusing. I can come to NUS and try next time. Yeah. Okay, so like thank you for your time. We also have other students like Dylan, Christopher, and Wisely. You can chat with us to know more about life in NUS. Hope to see you all here. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Michelle. So you can see there's actually a lot of interesting things that you can do in NUS Civil and Environmental Engineering. Dylan is actually the director for Operations Orion, one of our award-winning OCIP programs. Right. So if you have any questions, especially if you're interested in serving the community, please reach out to Dylan. Right. He will point you in the right directions for that. Okay. So what's going to be happening now is that we're going to field questions from you guys. I'm sure that there are a lot of questions running through your heads right now. So what we're going to do is this: we're going to create a breakout room, right? And in this breakout room, we are going to have our student ambassadors, Michelle, Dylan, Wisely, and Christopher. Right, they're going to be inside there. And if you have any questions, right, feel free to join the breakout room and ask them anything, right, that is non-academic related. Well, even if it is academic related and you think that you want to get a student's perspective on it, by all means, go ahead. Okay, now I have with me Prof. Pang. I think Prof. Hu is still around, and Prof. Paul Ong. Okay, so we are the academic, we are the teaching faculty here. So if you have any questions regarding the curriculum, you can stay on in this channel. You can chat your answers, or you can switch on your microphones and ask us, and we will do our best to answer your questions. Okay, so so feel free to ask questions. Anybody who feel free to open your mic and start speaking. Student ambassadors, if you want to move over to the breakout room, you can move over now. Thanks. Okay, so for those of you who are here, still here, I'm sure that you guys have lots of questions regarding, the new curriculum. It's a very exciting, hyper flexible curriculum that's been designed specially to cater to the changing needs of of students like yourselves, as well as the industry. I believe there are quite a number of questions, right? But perhaps while as you're thinking about it, maybe I can kickstart this whole questioning process. So I'm going to pretend I'm going to be one of you, right? I'm going to ask Prof. Pang and Prof. Paul, right, some questions, and they can answer it. So perhaps the first one could be this. right? How does the application of the various modules in NUS Civil and Environmental Engineering, how do we go about doing that?
Justin, are you referring to how do they register for the modules, is it?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. So the schedule, we will actually have a schedule, a recommended schedule for all students. And in the recommended schedule, I will just broadly split them into core modules and your own elective. Elective are modules that are not listed in the table I've shown earlier on, like unrestricted elective. You may want to take a module outside of the department. For the core modules, right, they are put into a recommended schedule, and students will then be pre-allocated with those modules. So you don't have to select those modules, it will be pre-allocated to you. But if you want to take a module which is outside, for example, you want to take Japanese language, which is not in the table that I've shown earlier on. So if I may, maybe I'll just use this to describe, maybe easier. Okay. So let me move back to that table that we have earlier on. So if you are, for these modules, right at the bottom and even all the way up to here, these are typically pre-allocated. If you want to take a Japanese language using an unrestricted elective, this is something that you will have to go and choose the module in the system. There's a system for students to go and select modules. Because you will not know what modules you want to take to fulfill the unrestricted elective. You may want to take Japanese, and another student may want to take, for example, psychology. So it's all up to you. But the modules which are listed below, those are the ones that we will have already put into a timetable such that they will not clash in terms of your class timetable and in terms of examination. We already pre-allocate those modules for you in every semester.
Okay, another question, I think it's from Chan Yun Kai. May I inquire how the math modules and physics modules are applied in the new curriculum as compared to the old curriculum? Good question.
Good question by Yun Kai. In the past, right, we will have the math module, which are taught by the Department of Mathematics. We also have this physics module taught by the Department of Physics. And in doing that, you'll find that most of the way it is treated is very much like A-level mathematics, but at a higher level. And they'll be teaching more in terms of the theory. And then in math, you always have all this axiom and so on. And also in terms of physics, they'll cover much broader, but not in depth in terms of applying it. So what we do over here, you'll see that using the same chart. For physics, we are interested more in terms of the mechanics part for your civil engineering major. Of course, you want to take another major in, for example, electrical engineering. Then you will be exposed to the physics topics on electricity and so on. So the physics will be taught in the context of civil engineering. So it's covered under principles of structural mechanics, principles of structural engineering. So all these physics are actually taught in the context of civil engineering, so that the theory you learn will be directly linked to a physics application. We find that the strong connection not only allows students to appreciate, but they will be able to even understand it much better and use it in their work. Otherwise, students will typically find a disconnect in terms of a physics topic and how it can be used in civil engineering or in the real world. So we are trying to make that connection much stronger, and industry do value that. So same thing for mathematics. There'll be modules that are being taught like probability, looking at risk. Those are being taught in the context of civil engineering development, civil engineering problems. So I hope that answers your question.
Right, thanks. Thanks, Prof. Wang. Okay, someone emailed Mass earlier, right? So I'm going to read the question. So under the modules of the major requirements, such as the principles of structural and geotechnical engineering, is this module a module by itself, or is there a group of modules under it? And follow-up question, right? Is it possible? Okay, I think you answer this question first, then we follow up with the second question.
Good. Thanks for this question. Earlier, I've mentioned about basket of modules which are in the first 3 rows. We do have some modules which are basket, especially the light blue one, Singapore Studies, Cultures and Connection. These are basket of modules. So we call this, you can call this a pillar, you can call this a basket. And within Singapore Studies, there are a few modules you can choose. But for the core modules, which is in this row, the core modules for the, or you call that the program major, Principles of Structural and Geotechnical Engineering will be the title of the module. So all this over here, the 10 modules are a single module that you have to take. But below here, you do find that a couple of them will be a basket where you can choose different modules. But for the program major, in all program majors, they are typically all fixed. So those are the ones that will fulfill. Why we do that? Because we try to trim down the core to the bare essential. And so that we can create a space in the unrestricted elective for you to take other modules. So now we have the unrestricted elective. It has actually increased by about 33% as compared to the past. So students can do a lot more outside the major.
Thanks. Okay, so second question, is it possible to know more about what will be taught under the 7 pillars of interdisciplinary skills?
I think you'll be referring to this over here, design thinking, livable cities, makerspace. We will have, right now, we don't have the full information up on the internet yet, on the NUS or even the engineering website. These are common throughout the whole engineering. It'll be out pretty soon. I think by the time you have end of this month or early next month, it will probably be up. I'll probably just give you a short one-liner for this module. Let me just start off with, I have over here. Just a minute. For design thinking, right? Design thinking, I mentioned earlier on, students have actually, some of the poly students have been exposed to that. Is a module that introduces students to the fundamentals of design thinking, which is a series of processes that develop an ability to place a problem in the context. And then, for example, looking at a problem not only in a technical perspective, but also the other social or the connected perspective or angles. So this will be taught and led by someone who is very good in the area of industrial design. So all these modules will be held by different departments. Reason for that, we want the domain experts to be the one who craft this. And you will find that in the past we don't want our curriculum offering or academic offering to be just constrained within civil engineering. Here you actually will be exposed to the best in the domain throughout the whole university. So that is for design thinking. Makerspace will be something that you will be learning the principles and tools of engineering design through group works. You'll try to ideate solution, then make prototypes. So as there's a lot of making involved, Dr. Justin himself will be involved, and then and also a couple of our colleagues will likely be involved in that. System thinking will be looking at, for example, system thinking, you look at this COVID situation, you can apply system thinking to it to simulate the dynamics of different factors, how they will affect one another, and how that will affect the whole system. Artificial intelligence, the AI, I think this is something you probably will be familiar. It has been mentioned a lot in the news, so you learn about the various machine learning concepts and tools. You can use it to do forecasting. You can use it to do a lot of other things in terms of prediction. And NUS, in terms of also research, we are very strong in this artificial intelligence for health management also. And again, this will be taught by someone from doing work in the AI. It's not from our department. Livable cities is something that we are partnering with the architecture and planning. We are co-designing this. We are actively involved in that. and we'll be co-championing that to look at what makes up a city, and then also how to design a livable city, which cuts across technological solutions to governance policies. And we are quite fortunate to have actually a whole team of very experienced practitioners, some of which are the CEO from various agencies who are on board with us full time to co-teach this with our academic staff. And then we have the project management. I think that I will not elaborate more. The last one, creative narrative. I think this is a skill set that has been identified to be crucial. Just take, for example, looking at, some of you will have probably aware of the clearing of, let's say, some of the forests. Creating narrative is how you position the need to the different stakeholders. And that is a very important skill set, looking at some of the big hoo-ha. If you are not able to create the right narrative to tell the different stakeholders, we are often very familiar with telling a story to the same group of people, but you find that in work, you have to not only look at from one single perspective, you look at from many other perspectives, and all of them will have different interests. I hope that covers broadly the 7 areas.
All right, I think we are almost at the end of the session already. It's almost 11:30. Maybe just one last, if you could offer a word of advice to students, how would they be able to prepare themselves for those who are coming in?
Oh, good. I do get the question a lot of time. After the students are admitted, right? Once you accept, after the deadline, what I'll do is I'll be writing an email to the students, and I'll tell you how you can actually get yourself prepared, because there's a lot of time during from the acceptance to the start of the school. And I think during this COVID situation, you probably have a lot more time at home. And do take note, once you are matriculated as an NUS student, you have free resources to 3 of the biggest MOOC, which is like a massive online, what do you call it? A massive online
role-playing game? No.
No. Basically, you have all the online resources from the top institution being hosted in platform like Coursera, edX, and I forgot the last one. There are a lot over there which are done very well for online learning to know. It's not so much to practice. I think the practice part and to get familiar and to apply is where you come in here, you will do and polish up that skill. But in terms of knowledge part, you will find a lot of resources from this Coursera, edX, which I'll share with you all, so that you can get yourself prepared. I think those videos will be quite, I would say quite easy. It will be easier for you to get on board, to know some of the basic. If you can learn even 30% or 40% of the module, right, before you enter here, you'll find that your workload will have reduced by 30-40% in the first semester. It does help a lot in terms of your transition into university life. So that I will do it separately after the acceptance, because I need to know who are the final list of students matriculating in this semester. But separately, a couple of you have written to me, but I will have something that is more formalized to send out to the students most likely end of this month when everything closes.
Okay, I think one last question from Ting Chin. For poly students, are they restricted to civil engineering, or can they do the digitalization or double degree?
Okay, Ting Chin. Okay, good question. You look at, let's say, the same set of slides that I have, right? For poly students, to do something beyond your major, right, you would need your unrestricted elective. If you don't want to extend your candidature. If you want to extend your candidature, of course, you can do a lot more. But let me just look at a typical case where you do not want to extend your candidature. You will have 5 blocks over here, which is 20 MC. That allows you to do a specialization, which digitalization falls under, or to do a minor. which I mentioned earlier on. There are a minor in psychology, minor in even I think material science. I'm not sure whether they have or not, but there's a whole list of minor. So you can do those minors and specialization with the 5 blocks of unrestricted elective that you have. If you want to pursue more, like a double major, then you will likely have to extend your candidature by at least 1 more semester. Otherwise, it'll be very hard. So that will be the general framework in terms of pursuing other programs for the poly students.
Okay, so if you have any questions, please feel free to email to us. I believe that we will send out the emails through the links, or you can visit our website, eng.nus.edu.sg/CEE/, right? And you know there are links there which will allow you to connect to us, so you can feel free to ask us any questions. Okay, so there is another ongoing session for IDP, which is ongoing now, right? So if you are very interested in IDP, you can feel free to move over to the other side. We'll keep this chat room a little open for a little while longer. So for those of you who are still, you still have burning questions, feel free to ask us, right?
Yes.
And we can address those issues or questions now. Okay, so those of you who are eager to listen in to the IDP, you can please feel free to join in on their session. Okay, so if any questions, feel free to just ask us here. If not, feel free to leave. I think we can. If you happen to have questions after the session, you can always email us. Right, we're always very happy to entertain your questions. Okay, I guess there are no further questions. Then we can close this session. Hey guys, thanks for sharing. Thanks for joining in.